All right, hello everyone. All like two of you who are watching. Um, I have a pretty interesting moveset video that I wanted to. I have a pretty interesting moveset that I wanted to make a video out of, just because I thought it was really cool. So I thought I'd show it off. It basically involves a choice scarf support set Smeargle, and I know what you're all thinking. You're thinking, what drugs are you on and where can I get that? Because it seems crazy, I know, but just hear me out for a second, okay? So everyone's going to be basically expecting the Spore entry hazard set, right? Because that's like the only set that anyone ever runs. So they're going to try to play around it. They're going to try to get what they want spored by either starting with what they think is most useless on their team, then letting it go to sleep, or switching in on the spore, or having a grass type. Any of those shenanigans, even volt switching. Basically, though, this is just a set that no one's going to expect, and because they're expecting the other set, I think it's gonna excel pretty nicely. Um, so one of the things, well, I'll start with I'll just go over the set and then explain why I think it's pretty good after. Basically, the bread and butter of this set, the reason I think it's so cool, so good, is just for this one move. It gets parting shot. It gets every move obviously, but it has parting shot, and it's like the only Pokemon other than Pangoro that learns parting shot. I don't really like Pangoro. That might just be because it's a fighting type. I don't like fighting types that aren't named Toxicroak, but Parting Shot, really good move. So this is basically the move you're going to be just spamming the crap out of. It's going to help you set things up. It's going to help you get sweepers to set up to sweep. It's a really good move, and they're not going to expect it. They're going to switch in expecting to take the Spore. You're going to get Parting Shot, pretty much go into anything because they're going to be at minus attack, minus special attack, and you can start setting up because they're going to pretty much have to switch out. The second move, just pretty much one of the best moves in the game other than knockoff. Spore, sometimes you just need to go for the choice scarf Spore. There's no reason not to have it on. It's a really good move. I mean, even if you're locked into it, still a really good move. If someone brings out a anything and they get up to +2, +4, +6 attack, just come right in and spore them as long as they don't have speed boosts, as long as they don't have a substitute, as long as they don't have a well, they wouldn't have a choice scarf if they're set up, but as long as you can outspeed and get a spore off on it, it's definitely worth it because basically they're all the time they spent setting it up is just down the drain now. You could also run Encore if you wanted to. Venom Shock. You could also run Encore, but it serves kind of the same purpose as Spore, and you have to predict them going for the status move. And being locked into Encore is kind of bad because if they switch, it's not very good. So honestly, Spore is just pretty much mandatory. These are really the only two mandatory moves. For the third slot, there's a choice of two, but you kind of want to choose one of the two. I personally think Trick is the best third option. Once they find out you're once they find out you're not going to just set up hazards all day forever, they'll be able to start switching in their walls just to take whatever you want to do. Chansey's not going to care about parting shot or a spore because of natural cure. So any Chansey that comes in, you can trick them the scarf, and you've just pretty much disabled any wall, and then you can parting shot the hell out of there. You can spore and then parting shot when he has to switch to get the natural cure. Also, just if Smeargle already outspeeds anything, which is not going to be very often with that base 75 speed, if Smeargle just outspeeds everything on the team, or everything that he's going to be meant to deal with, you might as well just trick away the Scarf. A Scarf on anything that isn't prepared for a Scarf is going to be pretty nice, and as long as you can outspeed and spam these moves, it's going to be very nice. The other possible move for this slot is Rapid Spin or Defog. Rapid Spin, I'm pretty sure it's obviously better. They have Ghost types, that's whatever. They wouldn't really want to switch in on a Spore anyway, but Rapid Spin, sometimes hazards are a huge deal, so Choice Scarf Rapid Spin, meh, might as well. Gets that technician boost. Not doesn't matter, but I mean, what are you gonna do? Use own tempo instead? So go with a rapid spin just in case you might need it. So rapid spin or trick is the third move slot, and then for the last move slot, there's a lot of really interesting things that you can do for it. I like the idea of using Destiny Bond because if you just have these three moves, they'll start to realize that you can't really do anything, and then they bring something in that can just doesn't care about Smeargle, go for the attack, and you can get the Destiny Bond off. And in theory, you can just start to kill something with this. Destiny Bond's not the most reliable. Neither is this move, but I wanted to throw it out there. Also, just because it's pretty good. Final Gambit, Choice Scarf Final Gambit. Anything wants to come in expecting Spore or Parting Shot, you've lost pretty much not lost, but you don't really have a use for Smeargle anymore. Go for the Final Gambit. I mean, Smeargle's got pretty crap HP. I'll put later any damage calcs that I can get with Final Gambit as opposed to I don't know, extreme speed for priority or pretty much any other move, or even seismic toss. Honestly, I mean, being locked into seismic toss is not that bad. Honestly, it's guaranteed damage. It's pretty nice, and it's more reliable than Final Gambit in the sense that it doesn't rely on your health. You can do this if you're at 2%. You can do this if you're at full health. Final Gambit isn't going to do anything if you're at 2%. But Final Gambit, I think, is not a bad move. It gets some damage. It gets you switch initiative either way. It's like Healing Wish, except you know, except it's like Healing Wish, except not like Healing Wish. Another option is Foul Play, because this basically means you can, like, I know he has bad attack, but Foul Play obviously goes on your opponent's attack. So if anyone wants to start setting up swords dances, you can just come in and Foul Play them. Choice Scarf Foul Play right to the face. Hey, why not, right? Again, the problem with that is they're all special attackers. If they all have really low attack, if they're all resist dark type, this isn't going to really do that much. But Foul Play is definitely an option. You can also run Dark Void if you want to, make sure you put stuff to sleep. But really, the only grass types in OU are like Breloom and Venusaur, and I don't think those really matter, honestly. They should be pretty easy to deal with, honestly. Another option, you can just run Leftovers instead of Choice Scarf and get rid of Trek, use pretty much any of the move combinations I mentioned, but you will need Sticky Web support for that, because Smeargle's not very fast, honestly. So, I mean, it's a pretty interesting moveset. I really like it. Might give it a try later, see how much use I can get out of it, but I can tell you, nobody's going to be expecting it. It's named SSS as the Scarf Support Smeargle, and I don't know, I think it's pretty cool. The other moveset that I thought for Smeargle, which I thought was pretty interesting, was got your standard Focus Sash Spore thing, right? But the thing is, you also have Mean Look and Baton Pass. So if they want to bring a Chansey in on you to take a Spore, it's going to be switching in on a Mean Look. You can Spore it next turn, start setting up stockpiles, Baton Pass into anything. And if it has sub, you can sub on the Chansey, it can't touch you, and you can start setting up with like Dragon Dances if you want. You can even use a stupid Belly Drum Charizard set with this. If you Mean Look the Chansey as it enters, Spore, Baton Pass, the one turn it's asleep, you can get a Belly Drum off and pretty much proceed to sweep. But these are the two movesets I thought. They're both kind of not really. They really can't really be expected very well. I really think this one could be pretty good, but there are a lot of things you have to watch out for. But I don't know, man. It could very well become the new meta.